Assalamu alaikum. Let me check this. Okay. Looking good. Looking good. Okay, Bismillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone to this stream. Jazakumullahu khairan for joining me. I'm Ameen, of course, and you see from the title what this is going to be about. Straight away, you could just throw stuff in the comments, say your salams, let me know where you're from. That'll be interesting to know. And let me know like what kind of things you're looking to get out of it, inshallah. The way I wanted to start is just by talking about, it's going to be a casual one, yeah? I got my tea, I'm about to pour my tea. And mostly, I just want to answer any questions you have, right? A lot of people, I saw in the group, in this Halal Hustler group, that there are a lot of questions people have, some confusion. So I just wanted to really answer any questions you have. Of course, I can go into some recommendations I have. And so first, I think the best thing to do is introduce myself a little bit. Then maybe we can bring Kareem on. I want to ask you actually, is your name Kareem? Because you don't spell it exactly like Kareem. But anyway, so who am I? I'm Ameen. I've been doing business now for about 7 years, let's say. And it all started with just being self-taught, right? So reading books, doing online courses, but mostly actually books. I was reading a lot of marketing books, kind of more, not old school, but more like the essence of marketing, like the psychology of marketing from people like Seth Godin, if you've heard of him. So that's how it started. And I was learning a lot from there, just reading. Actually, in my job, I was working and I could also read a lot at the same time. So that was really good because my goal was always not really to work a job, even though I went through uni fully and everything. But I just was kind of terrified of the idea of getting stuck in the rat race and all of that. So that's how I got started. On top of that, what happened was I started helping a brother with his e-commerce store from what I was learning, mostly from what I was learning online. He needed help, so I thought, let me help him for free, and that was a way for me to get some experience. Eventually, I helped him so much with that business that he offered me a part ownership of it. So I was like, cool. At that time, what was I doing, man? I was, Walaikum salam. By the way, Walaikum salam, Kareem. Sorry, didn't reply. And the based Chad. Walaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Yeah, anyone joining now, just tell me in the chat, obviously say your salams, let me know where you're from. And you can even start the questions coming in now, because it will be first come, first serve, really. So ask your questions and we'll go through them, yani. This is going to be a casual one, like I said before. So yeah, actually, let me put that in on the screen. Wa alaikum salam to Allah. Julius Caesar's here. Yo, come from the past. Come from the past, man. Let me see. I put this on the screen. Put your questions in the chat. Right. And what if I just add that? Okay, that'll be fine. Maybe make it a bit smaller. There you go. Wa alaikum salam, Shabib. Wa alaikum salam to Allah barakatuh. Good to have you all on, man. So I was talking about how I got into this. So it's all self-taught. I went to uni, but nothing to do with business, nothing to do with marketing. That's kind of not that useful, I think, if you want to get into business. It's more like, when you study business in uni or school or whatever, that's more like for business management, like working in a business as a manager, not as an owner. It's quite different. It's a misleading word when they say business. Yeah, I'm studying business. No, you're studying management, how to manage employees and manage businesses. But starting businesses kind of from scratch, that's a whole different side of things. So So where was I? I was learning from courses, from books, and then I helped a friend of mine with his business, and it just helped and helped. I just kept giving and giving because I thought, look, I'm not getting paid right now, but I'm getting paid in experience and in knowledge and in these real things. And I was doing real things like running real Facebook ads and all of that. And that business actually was pretty good. At the peak of that business, it was like a Muslim focused business, and it was something I never heard of anyone making like proper good money from that kind of business. But I remember one Ramadan, to be honest, Yani, fully honest, I made just under £10,000 in that 1 month. The crazy thing though, and this is why I don't really like e-commerce, is out of that £10,000 revenue, the profit was like very little. I remember we were spending very aggressively on ads. Then you got the cost of the goods and all that, shipping, returns, all of that. So that was kind of crazy. I just had it in my head, like, I want to crack the £10,000, like, forget profitability. So alhamdulillah, we did that, which was good. It was a good experience for me. I must have spent, I don't know, £3,000-4,000 on ads that month. So, these things were all good, really good. And actually, then I was in Dubai, and I thought, look, this is a what's it called? I was in the UAE, and I was still living with my parents, and I kind of realized like I'm wasting my time trying to do business like from scratch, right? Like straight out of uni and then go do business and try and make money from business. It wasn't really working for me. And when I got to UAE, I tried to do FBA, Amazon FBA, and well, it wasn't bad. Like, it didn't actually start badly. It's just I realized I need to keep putting more money into the business for it to kind of actually go well. So I realized I kind of need a job, right? I need a job to maybe get experience, get life experience, maybe get business experience, and to get money to then spend on my business, and to like start my business, invest in my business. So and this is what my dad was advising me to do. He's like, yeah, cool if you want to do business, but you kind of need a job first. So anyway, after being stubborn for a few years, I listened to my dad. I tried to get a job, and I actually got a job based on the work that I did with my friend, just helping him out for free. Right? Eventually he did pay me and stuff, but that was interesting. I was actually getting a job based on no degree in marketing, business, nothing, just from my own experience and going in there and doing a good interview, right? Like telling them, okay, if I got the job, I would do this, 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 this. I was able to speak like I know what I'm talking about, because I did know what I was talking about. So that was really good. I got a job. And yeah, let me just check the chat if there's anything urgent here. Okay. Jazakumullahu khairan. Yeah. Okay. So most of these questions I'll answer when I just get into that. So I'm just giving my background still. So where was I? I got a job, and wallah, that job, yani, I try and go into the job like humble, right? I've got a manager, this and that. But wallah, to be honest with you, no one on the marketing team like knew what they were doing. There was one guy who he managed the Google ads, and he was good at his job. Everyone else on the marketing team, they didn't know what they were doing. And I go in there, I'm like, okay, look, you're new, keep it calm, be cool. And the funny thing is, the guy that knew the least about marketing was the manager. He was just good at talking. So that's obviously how he got the marketing job. Kind of funny, man. So anyway, I lasted in that job 6 weeks, right? They actually fired me because this just shows, yani, life experience is very important. Yani, I went in there and I could see that, look, it's not like I think I was the best. I went in there saying, look, yani, I'm in a job, right? They tell me what to do, I should do it. But it's just the stuff they were telling me to do was so wrong. And it was wrong according to the people I'd learned from like online. And the people that I learned from online are like the best at what they do, right? Like Facebook ads, for example. So I'm like, look, you don't know Facebook ads. Like my manager, for example, you don't know Facebook ads. And I've learned Facebook ads from like the best. And so who am I going to go with, what you're saying or what they're saying? So I was resisting what they were saying a lot because it was just wrong. But ultimately, I learned that, you kind of just got to do what you're told, even if it's bad for the business. So it is what it is. They told me, look, I mean, it looks like you're just better to work on your own as a freelancer or in business or as a consultant, but as an employee, like, it's just not really working, because the funny thing is that, like, you're losing us money. I'm like, you guys are doing the most basic mistakes with your Facebook ads. I didn't say that. As soon as they said I was fired, I just shut my mouth. I was like, okay, yeah, and it's up to you, of course. It's your business. You do what you want. So I took that. But alhamdulillah, you know, it was a good experience. You know, made me realize, Yani, how much I hate that environment, that office environment. Alhamdulillah, you know, really good learning opportunity there. Made a bit of money as well. And yeah, so then it forced me into like entrepreneurship fully. Like, I was like, look, I got a job. I tried that route, and it made me realize I actually do know what I'm doing. So let me just go and do what I do. And the big, yani, turning point, I would say, is that I met my current day business partners. I met them through another business. That business that I started working on for free, I met them through that business. They were also helping with that business. And me and them, they were like around 8 years older than me. So that was really good for me to kind of partner with them. And we started a business together. And I'm working with them until today. And alhamdulillah, that was the best thing, because I was like all in on business. Like, okay, we weren't making money from day one, but I was all in terms of this is going to be my way of making a living. Alhamdulillah, of course, I had the opportunity to do that because, you know, I didn't have bills to pay. I was living with my parents. I also wasn't married. So I was able to do that at time, and I just took advantage of that, I suppose. But maybe, I want to say 1-2 years later, I did get married, and I was able to get married based on the fact that I had that business, right? So alhamdulillah. The business that I initially started, Kareem, was a marketing agency. So you probably heard of like SMMA. That's pretty much what I started. This was 2017, I think. Yeah. I started that. And alhamdulillah, we put zero money in. We invested zero money. So you know how like Amazon FBA, I think I invested like £2,000, like maybe $2,500, and my partner invested $2,500. So we spent $5,000. And in the end, I don't think we made a profit at all. But this agency, we put zero in, and our first client paid us like $1,000, right? So $1,000 profit straight away. So that was the beauty of that kind of business. Eventually we turned into more like doing trainings and consultations, and today we do more like training and courses kind of thing. But I'm starting another business as well, a coaching business, inshallah, just because I have the ability now. Like, my first business is streamlined enough that I can actually start a new business. I have enough focus and enough bandwidth to start a second kind of business. Oh, when I was working in the company, it was like it was an online company. I don't know if you've probably heard of Groupon, because you're in the US, I think, Kareem, right? So it was like Groupon, but it was for the Middle East, basically the Gulf. Yeah, I think they're still around. But yeah, wow. Okay, so let me go to some of the questions. Then maybe Kareem, I can bring you on if you have further questions. Okay, let me bring this up. So you mentioned, where do I put this, man? I'll put this up here, and I'll put this here. Okay, you mentioned doing a job. Did you have the mindset of doing a job to pick up particular skill instead of self-taught? Wallah, yani, experience is worth a lot. So it's like, okay, I know this stuff in theory. I've tried some of it in practice, but imagine someone giving you $10,000 a month advertising budget. That is going to give you a lot more experience than if you're working with your own business or a little business where the budget is like $500 a month, right? So that's one thing. And then, of course, you know, I went into that business, into that job thinking like, I'll learn from the other people on the marketing team who are good at their job. But there weren't many people who are actually good at their job, subhanAllah. So that was the idea as well. And I just thought, you know what, it's like, this is life skill, yani being able to negotiate the realities of working with people that you might not choose to work with, right? You might not find it ideal you're working with them, but that's like social skill in the end. I remember I was when I was working there, I was listening to the book, the audio book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I was listening to that for like the 3rd time. And I was just like, look, now I'm in real life, right? I'm like in a job, like with people I don't really want to be with, in a situation I don't really want, but I'm going to make the best out of it. So now when I listen to this book, for example, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, I'm actually going to implement everything. Because I felt like when I was at uni, or like when I was like trying to do business on my own, it wasn't like real life where I could like, okay, implement these things, you know what I mean? So yeah, the mindset was, the skill was marketing, whatever it was, whether it was advertising, whether it was email marketing, copywriting, these kind of things. They actually brought me on as a social media manager. So I was doing some content as well, but eventually they're like, look, I think your skill is more on the ad side of things. And the other social media manager that they hired, they're like, okay, you're more on the content side of things, so you write the posts. And I was happy to do that. That was a good split. Funny thing, that other one, the other social media manager that they hired, I trained her. I trained her on marketing, on ads, on all this stuff. And then they fired me and they kept her because she just kind of stuck in her lane. She did what she was told. You know how it goes. Young girl comes in with makeup, this and that. The manager likes her. The manager cracks jokes with her, this and that. As for me, I'm the weirdo, comes in. Damn, is there a... Looks like the glass is split. As for me, I come in, I'm the weirdo, man. I come in, I sit at my desk, I get my laptop out, I put my earphones in, and I put white noise, right? So I don't hear anyone's conversations, and I can focus. Imagine how weird you are, yani, compared to everyone else. That shows you emotional intelligence, naive, basically. Yani, I was pretty naive, man. So it was correct, actually, that I needed to learn these kind of life skills and emotional intelligence, Shabib. So that's the answer to that question, inshallah. What's Julius Caesar saying? May Allah bless you and you, bro. Can you please recommend top 5 activities or courses to get into for those who want to transition from 9 to 5 to location free? I'll get into that, inshallah. I'll get into that. That's like a very general question. So let me answer some specific questions. What's the base Chad saying? I'm in a job and I absolutely hate my job. It's restricting my freedom and I want to do marketing online or influencing. Should I leave the job? P.S. I would be depressed if not prayer and training. Alhamdulilah I've. You know what, bro? Definitely don't leave your job. I wouldn't leave my job. If I had a job, I would not leave the job unless I had real income from the business. That's my general advice. Especially if you hate your job, that's good. Because I'll tell you, like, too many people I come across, they have a job and they're too comfortable. They never will leave the job. But you hate your job. These people I'm talking about, they don't hate their job. They dislike it, but they don't hate the guts out of it. If you've read the book, the 4-hour work week, you can see it there behind me. You'll read and you'll see that he hated his job. And it's very important to hate your job. Otherwise, you just get comfortable, man. You're getting like 2, 3, 4,000 a month coming in your bank account. You can see ways that you could get promoted, get more money. You just get comfortable, man. I remember, like, wallah, looking at my co-workers in the job, it's like they don't have to do anything. You just come in and show your face. Suck up to the boss a bit, show a little bit of work done, go home, and then chill. I mean, business is very different to that, So it's good if you hate your job. It should just make sure that you're putting in, I would say, 1-2 hours every day after work, Come home, take a nap, refresh yourself, and get into it, 1-2 hours a day. Online marketing, influencing maybe, depending on what you mean by that. So yeah, I wouldn't leave the job, that job might be a way that you're going to learn skills, so that could be good. So you're basically learning and getting paid to learn. Like, that's really good. Instead of you paying to learn, you're being paid to learn. So that's really good. And also, you're just getting money and you're stacking money, inshallah. Get good with your money, save a lot of your money, and then with the mindset that I'm going to invest this in my business or in my learning and stuff like that. So that's what I would say, bro. Jamil. Was this about FBA? Did you use analytics tools or did you do FBA or Shopify? So the first business that I was involved in was Shopify based. It was like a gift box for Muslims. That was the one where I said in Ramadan we cracked the £10,000. So it was more than $10,000 definitely. But the profit was so low, you know. And then after that business, oh no, on the side actually of that business, I also tried Amazon FBA. And the only issue with that was I needed to keep putting more money into it to keep buying stock, and I didn't have a job. I didn't have, like, my savings were running out and stuff. So yeah, did I use analytics tools? Yeah, I did. I used for FBA there was an analytics tool. Damn, this was a while ago. Maybe I used Profit Phoenix. It's not around anymore. It's actually my friend's software. He shut it down, but mashallah, that was a good software. Did I do PPC advertising? Yeah, and I still do. I was working on some of that today, actually. What's Shabib saying? Lol, I'm in that boat right now, probably trying to do business from scratch. Yeah. Oh, you're saying you're in a business degree? Is that what you mean? Yeah. I mean, I'm sure business degrees could be useful for something, yani for getting a job or whatever. Maybe teaching you statistics or something like that. But in terms of starting a business, yani there's a lot of different things to it than that. Okay, let's see what Healthy Believer's saying. In times of today, where most industry sectors are into riba, what sectors or jobs are ideal to be involved in to be on the safer side? Well, look, this is what I want to say, yeah? Most things are halal. Most things are halal. The whole economy, of course, has the dust of riba on it. The whole world economy, okay? But putting that aside, because we can't avoid that, most things are halal. Don't get this mindset that, oh no, everything's haram and it's so difficult for us Muslims to make money. No, most things are halal, really, okay? So it's not which industries are halal, it's which industries are haram. You know, like banking, of course, you avoid banking. You avoid any kind of marketing positions where there's going to be a lot of women involved, like a gym. You know, avoid working for a gym, for example. Some sort of women's lifestyle, this and that. You know, you're going to be in trouble with that kind of stuff. But generally, it's halal. You know, okay, the work environment is a whole other thing, but you know, we do what we have to do, yani, and we always keep in mind that our intention is to not do this forever. You know, so that's what I would say. But you know what I always hear is so software engineering is a good field. What else is good? If you can get into management consulting, I think that's pretty good. Yeah, a lot of tech stuff, you know, cybersecurity. These are kind of things that I hear are good. Yeah. Okay, let me try and move quickly. With the marketing agency, how did I get halal clients? Again, the same applies, yeah? I'm not picking on you, Jamil, but I'm just saying, most clients are halal. Yani, of course, you have to, certain industries you have to avoid, but most stuff is halal. Yeah, the way I did it is I just, like, we didn't think of like, okay, we thought, for example, we're not going to target gyms because that will be problematic. But we thought, okay, this is a good type of client to go after. So we went after that type of client. And then the ones that maybe we got to the level where they wanted to go ahead or whatever, or we started the conversation with them, if we saw that they weren't going to work with our values, then we can stop it there. But to start in the first place with the concept that, oh, most things are haram, I think that's not good. I think that's going to slow you down. And it's just not true. Yani Allah made most things halal. Alhamdulilah. Yeah, what if the client tells you to put haram in the ads? I think this comes from before you even take them on as a client, right? So for you, Jamil, for example, if you don't have any client waiting to sign up for your service now, I wouldn't worry about this, because you can always pull the plug in the last minute. I'm not saying that's the best thing, but you can always do that, right? So last minute, you could say, like in the conversation, you're going to feel them out based on the industry, based on their website, based on their current social media and stuff like that. You can see what kind of stuff they put out. And anyway, you want to be working with people that trust you. You don't want people that will be like, yeah, can you use this specific image and that specific thing and write it that way? You want people that trust you. They're like, look, you do what you need. We're here to support you in what you're good at, and we'll do what we're good at. You're doing our ads, so you do the ads the best way you like. That's the best situation. Obviously, sometimes if you're a newbie, that won't be the case, but you can judge by looking at their website and these things. And maybe you could even say at the beginning, before you kind of sign the contract, you say, look, you know what, I wouldn't even say that. I mean, you can work with Muslims. Sometimes it's difficult depending on what country you're in. But pick your industry wisely. And yeah, you know, certain industries, like I had a client in the taxi industry, they were just chill, man. They're just like, yeah, social media content, we know we just need to keep putting it out. So just do your thing. And we did our thing. We didn't post women and these kind of things, you know. Let's see, what's Shabib saying? Did you feel the pressure after uni if your parents expect you to support them whilst on your mission? My dad was still working, so I didn't have that pressure personally. Yeah, but that would be tough. I think in that case, you know, you get a job. I mean, most of the time I do think it's a good idea to get a job. And I did try and get a job, and I did get a job. It's just that I got fired. Otherwise, I would have been working that job. The idea and mindset I had was, I'm going to work in this job maximum 2 years. In those 2 years, I'm going to set up a business. I'm going to, you know, save money and put savings aside and get married. And that was like my thinking. So generally, Yani, I think jobs are good. Yani, use that money, use that experience for your growth and for starting your business without just sitting in your, you know, mum's basement trying to start a business with no money and, you know, no life experience. You know, the biggest thing in business is understanding people, understanding your target market. If you don't live life, if you don't go out there and live life, then you won't know what people's problems are. So how are you going to solve their problems? You don't even know what their problems are. You know, like Kareem, you'll know this, right? Like copywriting, it's all about understanding the target market. But how, if you just go to school and then maybe go uni and then you never go to the outside of that world, right? You're just with students, with young people. Okay, now you're going to sell something to a 35-year-old. How are you going to do that if you don't understand them, if you don't mix with them, right? So I think, you know, this kind of life experience is useful, wallah. Talabat, no, I wasn't working at Talabat. Talabat, I don't think they were around when I was working. Okay, what did you say, Jameel? How do you get halal clients? A lot of they want women in them. What do you say to client when they want to about halal? Yeah, I answered this, I guess. I mean, if they're going to be that specific, we want you to use these pictures. That's not an ideal client. You won't always have ideal clients, but I'm just telling you straight up, like, that's not an ideal client. You want a client that trusts you and they're like, do whatever you think is best. Okay, Hoss, do you know what are you advertising? Is it something you have control of? I don't know if you're talking about in my job or in my business but I mean, yeah, you always know what you're advertising. Of course, how would you write the ad or target the ad if you don't know what you're selling? Halal Hustler group, maybe someone can share that in the chat. Okay, Kareem, what's the niche or offer transformation you would recommend a newbie to sell? This is not something that is a blanket, you know, that you could give to anyone. It has to be based on the specific person. So for example, I know a guy, actually I am coaching a guy who he's into weight loss and he's into gym basically. So he knows a bit about nutrition, weight loss, working out in the gym, stuff like that. And he's young. He's like 21 or 2. And so for him, like, being a weight loss coach was a good idea. Because why? He's already into that. He's already passionate about it. He's got a good build, good physique. So people will kind of respect him for that. And if he went to like a 28-year-old or a 30-year-old, they wouldn't look at him like, oh, you're a kid. How can you help me with weight loss? No, like he's a young guy, he's a fit guy, so they would believe him. And also he's got like a weight loss journey himself. So weight loss is a problem. That's the first thing, of course, that you want, is something with a big problem, a big pain attached to it. And people pay to fix problems, right? That's the first concept that we need to understand to start a business. People pay to solve painful problems, not just problems, but painful problems. And so weight loss is being overweight is a big pain, is a problem, and it's a big pain. Okay. And it matched his passion and his knowledge in life and even his story, the fact that he lost weight. And so that was a good kind of niche or offer for him to sell. Would that be the same for me? Probably not. I mean, look at me. I don't look like the biggest guy. Okay. I'm thin, but I was always thin. So I don't have a story behind it. But I still believe I could sell that because there's a lot of pain behind it. I believe I could actually be a weight loss coach maybe. But you get the point, I think. Lol, you're not even weird, you're normal, but it's the people around you that thought that about me. Yeah, I know what you mean. But just, if you look at the average, office, people are wasting time. So when someone comes in, they're like, focus. It's just like, what's up with this guy? It was a bit of a, naivety, really. Like, I thought I could just walk in, do work and walk out. No, you have to create relationships with people. That definitely is something that you have to do, even if you don't like it, like I don't like it. How do you decide to sell your Shopify product? Analytics tools. Okay. How do you do product research? Are you still doing Shopify? I'm not still doing Shopify. You see, Jamil, I know by the way you're asking the questions that you've probably seen these like drop shipping videos or whatever it is. And it's like, yeah, go on AliExpress or go here and find where there's demand and use analytics tools to find demand. And I'm not a fan of that stuff. I think it's a bit, it's high risk and it's low profit, and you end up selling stupid stuff like dog bracelets or something, which eventually you're just like, what the hell? Of course, initially you just want to make some cash, right? But that's why I'm not such a fan of, I'll tell you the situation in which I would be a fan of dropshipping or e-commerce in general. And that is if you have money, right? Let's say you have at least $5,000 to spare, right? Not $5,000 saved, but $5,000 to spare. And you understand that there's a kind of physical product, which is cool. It's got something cool about it and it solves a problem. And you can see that people, might be willing to do it. I would do that kind of product. And I would do it on Kickstarter, and I would like raise like 50, 100K doing the Kickstarter for it. If the Kickstarter goes well, then I made 50, 100K in sales without even making the product yet. And if not, then I just would have wasted some hours and some few $1,000s maybe doing the research and doing the Kickstarter. Basically, yeah, e-commerce is like lower margin, like lower profit, and you need some investment, whether it's from yourself or from the Kickstarter or from investors. And I just don't think that's the best business for someone young, someone new to the game. That's like better maybe as a second business that you start, not a first business. That's what I think. But even if you wanted to go down the route, I would always try and do the Kickstarter, crowdfunding kind of thing. Okay, Shabib, will you speak about your experience of isolation? I feel there are many ways to look at it. My isolation is closely linked to my previous comment, starting a business from scratch. What isolation? You mean the fact that I was the weirdo in the workplace? Well, I enjoyed that, to be honest. I lived my life like that most of my life. I'm not saying I didn't have friends, but it's like out of 100 people, I would only really connect with 2 of them, and the rest would just be the weirdo. Or even when I went to uni, like I was the youngest by far, stuff like that, So I got comfortable with it. And alhamdulillah, it's like a big blessing because I don't care about feeling weird. Whereas most people, they're very uncomfortable with it and they always try and fit in. But as for me, I'm just like, yeah, like, of course I'm weird. That's who I am. It's like literally my identity now. And of course we know, the Prophet ﷺ was strange at that time, coming with that message. And Tuba lil Ghuraba and all the hadith that we know. Okay, Jamil. how did you secure marketing clients at the start? Why would they trust you as a new business? Yeah, good question. Wallah, my partners, we just reached out to our contacts, really. People we knew who had businesses. And that's how we got the first client. You know, the first one I said that paid us $1,000. Yeah. And literally it was like, this guy, this business owner, he actually bought these marketing courses, which he intended to use those courses and to learn marketing himself. And we came along, we talked to him. Of course, he knew us already, so some level of trust is there. And he's like, basically he paid us to implement those courses, right? So it's not even that he thought we were really amazing. It's more like he thought the courses were amazing. And he's like, okay, if you guys can actually implement that for $1,000, like that's okay, that's acceptable. Because I don't have the time to do it. If you guys will focus on that, then cool. So that's how we got the first client. Well, the first few clients were actually personal contacts. And this is a good lesson actually for everyone listening. We struggled actually to get clients in the marketing agency in general. Like most of our clients were from personal contacts. And I'll tell you the reason why we struggle is because we didn't niche down. We were too open to working with any type of client. So now if I was to start an agency, I would be more specific. So I would like only work with Muslim charities, specifically with Facebook ads. So then when they say, oh, but could you just do our email marketing? No. I'll pay you $1,000. No. Right? And I would just get really good at one niche and one service. That's what I would do now. Another example might be like, like dentists. Helping dentists get a specific type of client. Using a specific like funnel and ads that you know how to make it work. If you can do that, you'll have no problems, right? You'll have no problems because you're actually good at your job. And a lot of agencies, they don't get very good results because they just work with too many different types of clients. And you know, each industry has its nuances, things that are a little bit different. So the answer to your question is like, if I went to a dentist and I said, I help dental clinics get implant patients using my proven system, that would be much more attractive and they'll listen to you more than if you said, oh yeah, I help you with marketing. I'll do email marketing, I'll do social media marketing, I'll do your ads, I'll do your website. That's not going to get very far. If you say, I only work with dental clinics only, and I only help them get implant patients, no one else. Yeah. And I have a specific formula or a process or a system to get that for you, then they're going to start listening. When they start listening, then it's like, okay, like, how can you help? Who have you done this for? Then if you've not done it before, you say, look, to be honest, I haven't done this before, but I'll do it for you on a commission only basis. Never do it for free, but maybe you can say, look, if it goes well, right, I get 10% or whatever of what we make. If it doesn't go well, then nothing to lose for you. You can do that for the first few clients. Or you can say, look, my fee is $1,000. But because, I'm new to this, like I said, I'm being honest. I know what I'm doing. I'm very confident I get you results because I've got this proven system that I've learned from someone who's got this result, this result, this result. And since it's like my first thing, it's $1,000, but because it's the first thing, I'll discount it and it will be $500. But always put on the invoice $1,000 and then put discount, right? So they need to feel the value of the service. Giving free service away, I think is a no-go. So commission, revenue share, profit share setup could be good as long as the tracking is in place, so they know that you got them the client and they don't start arguing and not paying you. Or discounting, but writing on the invoice that it's like, this is the price and I've discounted it. So they need to feel the value. Otherwise they won't work hard to make things work and, for the relationship to work. Inshallah, that helps. Yeah. What do you mean by not do this forever? I think I was talking about a job. So I can't remember what I was saying, but like, yeah, I didn't intend to do it forever. I was like, yeah, I'm doing it 2 years kind of thing. I'm not sure. I don't remember though. Sorry. Walaikum salam, Marek. What's this? Do the clients choose the content for the ads? Or do you choose the content? Do you ask them for material? When we got a new client, we would be like, look, give us all the photos you have. Give us everything. And then we choose. That's usually how it works. We would choose what goes in the ad, what photo, what copy. We would choose that. 5 income streams for financial freedom that you would recommend. I'm not financially free. Like, I still work for my money. So just keep that in mind. 5 income streams. I mean, I would just have 1 income stream. And I think like a knowledge business is a good income stream. So a knowledge business is selling a service or coaching or courses. And you usually start in that order. So first you offer a service. Then when you're quite good at that, you can do it as coaching. You could do it as a group coaching or one-on-one coaching. And then when you really nail down the process, you can make a course. So these 3 things in that order. Sometimes you can skip straight to coaching, but don't go straight to courses. Courses are the hardest to sell, and then coaching, and then services. Okay? The easiest thing to sell is a service, because not only do you have some sort of expertise, right? You as the person offering me the service, you have expertise, but you're going to do it for me. And the biggest thing that people don't have is time. So if you can say like, okay, pay me whatever, $1,000 every month, or $2,000, $3,000 every month, pay me that, but you don't have to do anything. A lot of people like that idea, and they feel like it's less risky because an expert is doing it, rather than if you're coaching someone or you give them a course, the biggest objection is, oh, but I've got to do it and I don't know what I'm doing, right? So knowledge business is what I would recommend. And yes, that's in 2022. No, it's not. My live isn't showing anywhere. Let me put let me just take a look at my. Keep your questions coming. Jazakumullah khairan. We've been going like non-stop with all the questions. Let me Okay. Let's see. Edit video. Oh, it's unlisted. Okay, let me put it on public. Damn, haven't done it through this software before. Okay, now we should have more people joining. So it's only the people with the link who were on so far. Okay, no, I'm not in a business degree. I did maths and stats degree after uni. I want to monetize my skill of what I learned rather than apply my technical to a boss to make them richer. I mean, look, if you work a job, you're going to get richer, right? And your boss is going to get richer, right? So keep that in mind, right? You're going to get paid. I want to monetize my skill. I mean, stats sounds interesting in terms of it's a good skill, I think, right? I don't know exactly know how that applies. I guess would that apply to like what's it called? I don't know, data analysis, stuff like that. But yeah. How did I grow the marketing agency? Just literally just keep going, keep doing different forms of lead gen, and try different, like offer different ways of pitching your service to different people, and literally just keep going. Like, again, this probably was a mistake, but I remember like for 6 months we were just going after taxi clients because we already had a couple, and then we're like, that wasn't working. So then we went to dentists for like 6 months, and we were just like, do whatever it takes kind of thing. And then on the way we were getting clients and stuff. But yeah. Okay, wayakum, healthy believer. Fatima, what would be a good marketing course, brother, for my 18-year-old son? If you just want to learn marketing, like in general, and give them like an introduction to marketing, maybe digital marketer. This is where I started, and wallah, they are, I mean, they know what they're doing, definitely, but one second. Digital marketer, they know what they're doing, okay, definitely. The reason I don't really mess with them these days is because they kind of teach marketing for people in jobs rather than entrepreneurs, you know. But I mean, here, digital marketer, it's a good introduction, wallah. I don't know, I'll just put it in the chat. Now I have to find the questions. Okay, cool. Yeah, so digital marketer, like for an introduction, I think they're good, you know. But if it's like for a specific type of business or whatever, that's different. But yeah, pretty much. Okay, Alhamdulillah, you had a father and a mother. In my case, I have a single mother. Makes it harder. Yeah, may Allah make it easy for you and give strength and power to your mom. Yes, I mean, look, like you have your disadvantages, I have my disadvantages. Maybe I'm just not sharing my disadvantages with you. But ultimately, yani, I do think, wallah, I wasn't like born in poverty or anything like that. Only when I was very young were my parents like still in that kind of phase. But mostly I was like middle class, and sometimes I feel like that's a disadvantage, you know, like the hunger to get out of poverty can help. Obviously it can send you the other way, but so sometimes the disadvantage is an advantage, etc. And wallah, sometimes I get a bit annoyed when I see a lot of the successful people in the dunya, at least, they come from hardship, and I'm like, damn, I have a disadvantage because I didn't come from that level of kind of financial hardship, you know. So yeah, no excuse. I mean, look, you just got to try and not give up and make dua to Allah and trust in Allah, and then accept whatever comes, yani. Maybe it'd be better for you to have that difficulty, or it's better for you to not do well financially. We don't know, yani. We don't know, but of course we try to work towards whatever we think is good. Okay, when you secure a client, as you said, they leave it up to you to pick the content. How do you know they won't be picky and be tough? You got to put this in XYZ. So I would actually, before you like fully sign the agreement, I would say, look, the way we work is that we trust you to do what you're good at, and you need to trust us to do what we're good at. So we do welcome your feedback and your input, but when it comes to this specific service, it's what we do, right? Or it's what I do. So we expect you to kind of leave that to us. Yes, give us feedback, but have that kind of conversation with them. Like the way that we work is, that's a very good sentence. And with services like agency business, the biggest thing is expectations. And that happens before the sale. That happens before the contract is signed or the money is sent. The expectations, right? So for example, they think they're going to make, I don't know, $10,000 in the first month of working with you, right? Extra. That's wrong expectation. They're going to be upset at the end of the first month. So you need to tell them, by the way, we probably won't make any profit in the first month, but the second month will be better, and the third month will be really good. Like, that's what we expect to happen. So imagine you didn't tell them that though. At the end of the first month, they're going to be like, look, cancel this guy. Cancel him. Kill him. Cut him off. So yeah. So expectations is a huge thing, right? And so what you're talking about is expectations in terms of the control they would have versus you. Is it easy to pull the plug? What are the formalities with marketing deals? Is it paperwork and legislation? You should have an agreement, even if the agreement isn't legally binding. It's just an agreement of like how you want to work together. Some bigger companies will have like full-on contract, which is like legally binding. Maybe we did that a few times, but mostly it's just like an agreement that we prepare and we send it to them and they sign it. And the way that you pull the plug is it has to be written in the thing. So usually we would have like a 3-month agreement, so they can't leave before 3 months. But then you might also put in the thing like, if we both agree to end it early, we can. Stuff like that, Yani. But I would suggest, Yani, just getting a client first. What's Kickstarter? I mean, go to the website and you'll work it out. It's crowdsourcing website. Crowdfunding website. Why niche down? How do you reach these Muslim charities? Do you advertise your own business model? So why niche down? Okay. If you wanted a pizza, would you go to a food restaurant, or would you go to like a European food restaurant, or would you go to a pizza restaurant? You'd go to the pizza restaurant. Why? Because pizza restaurant, in your head, you'll be like, they're better at pizza. I want pizza. I don't want European food. I want pizza. So, and all they do day in, day out is make pizza. So I'm going to go to them. That's why you niche down. It shows that you're a specialist in a field. And there are many advantages, Yani, other advantages. It means that you can focus all your sales efforts on going after those specific clients. You can speak in the language of those specific clients. So you're more attractive to those specific clients. How do you reach out to Muslim charities? Well, it's a long story, Yani. There are details to it. But I mean, like, I don't know. What do you think, Yani? How do you get in touch with someone you really want to get in touch with? You message them on LinkedIn, on Instagram, on Facebook. You email them. You cold call them. You walk into their office. All of these things. With a good message, of course. With a good introduction to yourself. The best way I heard of somebody, Yani, getting in touch with a client is they would set up ads for them and send them leads for free. Send them interested customers for free. Send them maybe every day, send them 3, 4, 5 different clients. And the way it would work is the let's say it's a dentist. The dentist, the receptionist, she would answer the phone, and before the person gets connected, this lead, yani interested customer, it would say, this lead is courtesy of Ameen. And then it would go connect the guy. So imagine this receptionist every day, courtesy of Ameen. This lead is courtesy of Ameen. And then 4 days later, Ameen calls, say, oh, by the way, I've been sending you those 20 leads. Can I speak to the manager? That was the best thing I've ever heard. If you can really do that. How do you pick a niche? Where do you learn to build these systems? So how do you pick a niche? I mean, the example I gave of the weight loss coach, it's like he had a passion. He saw that there's a pain there to solve. And the people he's targeting, Yani, he can see that they do spend money. They do have some money, and he can see that they're already spending money on losing weight with other people. So that's a good sign. And then how to learn the systems. You look at how other people are doing it. That's usually a good place to start. So if you wanted to learn how to get weight loss clients, then go and look at the best weight loss coaches, see how they do it. And yeah, stuff like that. Okay, Shabib, we finally got to your explanation of your question. Not relating to the office. Isolation in the essence of trying to achieve your objective in business and finding people that do exactly what you want to do and won't belittle you. I don't know if I can relate to this. I mean, I guess I do, because a lot of people, they see that I work from home or I work from wherever I want, and they just think like whenever I want, I can just pick up and stop work and go and take them somewhere or do this and do that. Or I could literally just go to another country and it won't interrupt anything. So that's kind of annoying, Annie. People don't understand that. They just see that you're not at work, not at an office, at work, and therefore it's like you're free to do whatever. I don't know. I just empathize with them. I think, well, what would I do? I would think the same kind of, I'd probably think a similar way if I didn't know what it was like. But yeah, of course, you got to find a community. You got to find a community. That's what some of these, Telegram groups, Halal, what's it called? Halal Hustler. That's what this kind of stuff is for. Inshallah, I want to start a community actually of Muslims who are serious about raising the level. Muslim men who are serious about their ibadah, their talab al-ilm, their finances, their fitness, their mindset, their parenting, all of these things. That's what I want to do. So inshallah, coming soon or coming now. This is part of the community, inshallah. Subscribe for future content and future, whatever I end up putting out. I don't want to say too much. Find other people like you, and I mean you can link up, you can connect with people when it comes to other things, right? Like work or studies or sports, or just connect with people on that. Like you do need that social life, so connect with those people. But when it comes to business, maybe you don't know people into business. Okay, try and maybe connect with people online about that. But maybe that'll just be your solo thing, and you're just like between you and Allah. You're like, damn, this is hard, but yeah, Allah help me out here. Where to go to learn specific lead magnet systems? Yeah, generally I took a course, YouTube, a lot of podcasts over the years. But courses, I find the best way is either hiring a consultant, right? If you really have a specific problem that you want solving and you've got money, because consultants charge quite a lot, then just hire a consultant for an hour, half an hour, boom, you get your answer very quickly. Or buying a course, but a specific course about a very specific thing that you want to get into. That's kind of where I did a lot of my learning, and also experience and stuff like that. But constantly learning, like constantly looking out for different ways to learn, non-stop. Humble me. Wa alaikum salam. Any ideas for halal investment without riba? Investment. Well, I was asking myself this question recently, and I was like, property. And I was like, damn, I'll get a better return if I invest that in myself, start another business. So that's what I'm doing, just because that's kind of my area. Like, I don't know real estate, that's new to me. But online business, that's something I've been doing for years. So that would probably give me a good return, you know what I mean? So it depends on your strengths, But yeah, there's like property. But apparently now is not a good time to invest. Apparently this is what, I've heard from some of the smart people out there. People, I'm talking about the high level ones. They're like, recession's coming, inflation's high, recession's coming. And when recession's coming, you know what they always say? Like, buy when there's blood in the streets, or whatever, what Warren Buffett said. So if you have money to invest, probably hold on to it, or buy some gold with it, some silver with it, and just hold on tight until the sale comes. Because in recessions, prices go down. Like if you just look at the stock market, right? If you had like whatever $10,000 and you saw the stock market going up, if you waited, or if you sold like when it was at the peak, although it's hard to know when it's at the peak. Now you just wait a year, wait 6 months. It's going to go down. Then you buy. Then you buy at like 50% discount. Same with property, right? If we go into a recession, then property will go down. Like all prices go down really in a recession, except stuff like maybe gold and stuff like that. So look out for those kind of things when or if there's a recession. Monetized by math and stats and knowledge to be financially independent, maths tutor, and even scale to hiring tutors. Okay. I mean, I hear good things about tuition business. like elderly care business, and what was the other one? Maybe pharmacies I was thinking about. But anyway, yeah, these are good businesses. Obviously they're not online, so they're a bit, you know, a bit different, I would say. But tuition can be online, can't it? But yeah, there's a lot of competition out there. It's easy to set up a tuition center, so that's where you got to niche down and offer something a bit different, a bit special, a bit focused on a certain group of people. For example, if you did tuition for autistic children, boom, that's good. But doing tuition in general, or maths tuition, that sounds difficult to me. Don't do hard business, do easy business. Have you heard of copywriting? Of course, marketing is all copywriting. That's what it is. The fundamental of marketing is copywriting, sales as well. Walaikum salam, AW. What do you think of this write-up? You don't have to open it and answer now, of course. What write-up? I don't know what you mean. MashaAllah, there's so many comments. Jazakumullah khairan. This is really good. I was thinking that I'm gonna have to like talk a bit myself, but I'm just answering questions, which is what I wanted to do anyway. Let me find the next question then. Have you come across part-time digital marketing jobs? Not really. If you think about it, who would want a part-time digital marketer? I guess they would hire a freelancer, which is different to a part-time job. It's like, yeah, we'll just hire you for this specific thing, or so yeah, definitely freelancing, but it might not be digital marketing. It might be something specific like SEO or email. You know, can you take care of all our email marketing? We'll pay you this much or whatever. Yeah, there's definitely those things exist on places like Upwork and outside of Upwork as well. How did you get clients? We had different audiences, right? Because we were doing the agency for about, I want to say 2 to 3 years, can't remember. And so we had different like audiences in different times. And each time we had a different type of audience, we would have a different way of reaching them, right? Depending on where we thought we could reach them. Do we use our own ads? No, we didn't actually use our own ads to get clients. We should have though, if we knew what we were doing back then, but you learn, isn't it, over time. Okay, Jamal, how do you pick a field to niche down on? How niche down should it be? We get teeth implant clients for dentists, or we get clients for dentists. So how niche, it should be like as niche as possible without the group of people being like just 50 people in the whole world, you know. If there's like, it depends if you're doing B2B or B2C, right? If you're selling to businesses, then, you know, if there's a few hundred of those businesses in the country you're targeting, then that would be a okay size. And you just like literally go zoom in a lot. Like a good one I heard recently from one of my clients was, I think it was helping dental clinics in South America. That sounds like a good one, right? Because dental clinics, they make good money. And in South America, it's like, I would imagine, maybe anyway, the advertising and stuff like that is cheaper over there. Maybe there are less agencies using these methods that are now overused in the US, for example. So I thought that was interesting. But you want to just niche down like 3 levels, okay? So for example, first level might be dentists. Second level might be dentists that do implants, right? That's decent. But then you could even say premium dentists that do implants. For example, yani 3 levels deep is pretty good. 2 or 3 levels, I would say. We don't know as we take the means whilst understanding our risk is already written for us. Yeah. How do you measure your success conversions? You mean literally how do I measure it? Usually what we would do is we say, look, okay, you have a $500 product. How much are you willing to spend to get a customer for that product? we might agree with the client like $100. We spend $100 in marketing to get a $500 sale. So then we measure success by how much did it cost us to get a client? Was it $100 or less than that or more than that? That kind of thing. There seems to be a crazy amount of info out there on how to succeed in a particular business. How do you filter and find the best, most relevant info to progress? Wallah, I think for me it was like trial and error until I actually knew the industry. Like now I know the digital marketing industry like inside out. I know who the legit people, I know who the kings of the industry are and who are the, never heard of them, like they're new to the game. So you just consume a lot of content, and I guess eventually you work things out. It's the same with like shuyukh, you know, listen to shuyukh and you realize, okay, he's talking that way and he's talking in a different way. And okay, I kind of feel like these guys know more what they're talking about. They're like, these guys are quoting more like straight from the Quran and this and that. And these guys are more just talking opinions. So then you might lean in one direction. Same goes with anything really that you learn. You just listen to enough or read enough of it until you're like, you get a feel for it. The other way is like by association. So if you know one guy's like really sick, then you see who he says is good, right? So like one guy, for example, in selling courses, for example, the top tier of those people, they might sell like $20 million worth a year. So anybody close to that amount, I know this obviously from just like consuming loads of content. Anyone around that amount, I know they're really good. So if someone who makes 20 million a year selling courses says, this guy's really good, then okay, now I'm going to start taking that guy more seriously. So these kind of things really. It's also good to go back to the classics, try and find out, okay, who is the originator of this stuff? You know? Yeah. Niche down is important. As a tutor, I teach only maths. At first, I tried all levels and I decided to focus on GC. Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect. Okay, Kareem, a lot of people don't. You need a lot more self-discipline as an entrepreneur. Yeah, because you have a free timetable. You could do what you want. You can watch YouTube all day, or you can work, and no one's really going to tell you. But your bank account will tell you if you don't do the work. So definitely, yeah. Definitely, man. Shabib, I got my first A level in 6 days. Oh, your exam, Yani. May Allah give you success. Share the details of what? Sorry, bro, I'm like behind on the comments. What am I doing now? So right now, my business is Muslim CEO. I mean, if you go muslimceo.com, there is a website there, but it's a little bit outdated because we don't really use the website too much for marketing and stuff like that. muslimceo.com. So we train people on starting knowledge businesses. And I'm also starting a coaching business. I want to help Muslim men to quit porn. So that's my new kind of thing that I'm working on these days. And this channel's kind of part of that. I mean, the main thing is, right, and this is a good example for you guys to learn from, is I decided first who I want to work with. So I thought, look, I want to work with Muslim men, yani under 30 Muslim men. So that's like who I want to work with. Okay, now what problems do they have? And I actually interviewed like, I don't know, 10, 15 people, asking them, what problems do you deal with? What problems, what challenges? And I got, awareness from that of what I could help with. And I just decided to go with the porn addiction and link that to getting married. So that kind of area. But I could have picked any of these problems that I hear coming up a lot of the time when I talk to people in that audience. So you let the audience guide you, really. So you could do the same for businesses. Speak to dental clinic owners or whatever. Say, what are your problems in business? I'm just curious, or it's for a uni project or whatever it is. And just listen to them and hear what they're saying, rather than you saying, oh, they should have email marketing, they should have no, just listen to them. So So then once you've picked up the people, you found out the painful problem they have, and now you've got to find the solution to the problem. And you do that by finding out how other people are solving it already. Most problems are already being solved. Ameen ya Rab. Jazakallah khair. And get into a coaching program. I'm saying right now to join a 6K copywriting coaching program. Damn. I think that's too much money, bro. Because, yeah, I don't know. I just think that's a lot. It's too much, because I've, like, the best course that I know of, Yani, that I would recommend. It teaches you a lot more than copywriting, and it's $6,000. So, yeah, I mean, I've bought, there's one copywriting course that I've heard good things about, and I know the guy who does it, and he's good, Yani. And his is like $2,000 or $1,500. And then the other one that I bought, this was years ago, it was like $500. And again, it's taught by people that know what they're talking about. And then you can pick up the books of people like, what's his name, Joseph Sugarman and Eugene Schwartz, Breakthrough Advertising, these kind of people. You'll learn a lot just from those books as well. And then practice. So, wallah, I don't know if that would be a good thing to do, to buy a $6,000 copywriting coaching program. I mean, it's a coaching program, not a course. That's a bit different. But you know what? After doing like copywriting for like 6 years, my conclusion is that about 70% of it is understanding the audience. I used to spend hours and hours trying to copywrite beautifully and write in such a clever way and persuasive way and this and that. And of course there is truth to that. But if I just knew the client like 20% better, the copy would be way better. So yeah, that's my conclusion anyway. Like 70% of copywriting is understanding the audience and using the language the audience uses, and just relating to the audience. What's he say? I think is it Eugene Schwartz. I think he said, enter the conversation going on in the client's mind, right? Like they're already thinking something. They're already having a conversation in their mind with themselves. You need to enter that by using the same language that they're using. Okay, I have other commitments with home training, seeking knowledge and working on business. Alhamdulilah, I have people in these areas and help. But business, I felt isolated. Well, I'm here for you, bro. I'm here for you. Obviously, I'm not doing a very detailed thing right now. I'm just answering questions, but I am here for you, bro. Inshallah, in the future, I'm trying to do videos for Muslim men with all different areas that they might be interested in or need help in. And one of them, of course, is money. So, inshallah. Put yourself in my shoes. I'm motivated. I want to start SMM agency. What should I niche down in? Let me think. I'm just thinking like what businesses are doing well these days. I mean, you've got your like direct to consumer e-commerce. You've got that. So you could help them with, it depends, Yani, where they're weak and where they feel they need help. Like you would have to do some research on that, Yani. For example, go to a Facebook group where there's a lot of e-commerce owners or something, and look at what they're asking about, to find out what they're struggling with, maybe. Of course, you only want to look for the ones who are making some decent money, not the beginners. Because or sometimes it's about the new opportunity. Like, okay, you're spending loads of money on ads and you're getting some sales from ads, but then all those leads you're getting, you're not using email marketing to make money out of those. So I could help you with that. Like, I specialize in email. So you could do something like that. Like, I do email marketing for whatever type of e-commerce business, direct to consumer e-commerce business. For example, I'm not going to be the best guy to give you the specific answers because this is something that needs a bit of research. So you would pick a business that generally the market is doing well, right? It's like kind of trendy, like direct to consumer e-commerce. Yeah, it's doing quite well now. There's a lot of like info product stuff out there, you know, courses or coaching programs. Again, look at that and look at different areas. Look at people that are doing well, of course, because you want to help people doing well. Like you want to help someone making 10K a month to get to like 12K, 15K, whatever. You don't want to help someone who's like making 1K to start making 5K. That's harder. So keep that in mind. You know, one thing that's quite cool is sales as a service. So doing sales calls for people, you know, you could have an agency around that where it's like, look, you're doing ads and you're generating, you know, calls. We will come and close those calls, and you can train yourself to become a good closer, and then you can like build a team where you train the team to be closers as well. That's a pretty cool, and you get paid like 10% commission or 15%. Trying to think of more ideas. And you got to think, like, if you're young, you've got to know what industries you can get into and what you can't get into. For example, if you went to a software company, they probably wouldn't take you seriously, you know. They're very clued on guys, the type of people that start a software business. And so if a young guy comes to them and says, yeah, do you want to be my first client? I help you do this and that. That probably is not going to work. But if you go to like an older school business, like we talked about dentist, for example, he'd be like, yeah, this young guy, he knows more about this digital stuff than me, so I'll give him a try, you know? So these kind of details are important as well. But yeah, inshallah, I'll try and keep thinking of stuff. I forgot what I said, humble me, but cool. 6K, yeah. The only reason I was saying it's too much is because I know the prices of other courses. But 6K, I mean, I'm sure it'll make you your money back, but you could probably also make that money from a 2K kind of thing, you know what I mean? Okay, what's this? Not meant to be harsh, but why should I bother with an online business when my family has a conglomerate of several large companies? I can just work for them. Well, yeah, I mean, sure. I mean, sounds good. If you want, yeah, and if that's the life you want, go for it. Conglomerate, you know. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Lol, G squared and this and PDFs and CDFs. I don't know what language that is, bro. 6K is a bargain for a coaching program that can help you make 10K a month. Coach, not coaching program. Okay. Yeah, so Jamil, I think I answered this, right? You got to pick the customer that you want to work with. You know, you maybe know a little bit about that type of person, or you were that person a few years ago. So you pick the people, you find out their deep problems, and then you make an offer to them. You know, you create a promise. What are you going to promise them? Those are the basic steps. Okay, algorithms. That sounds. When I see algorithms, I think of money. Okay, what is the technical term for the dental lead you gave? The telephone call, which is preluded with. Well, there's no term for that, I don't think. That's like, I only heard of one person doing that ever, and it was really cool. I never heard about it again. I'm about to start working copyright. That's sick. You know, agency work is horrible, I think, but it's really good for experience because you work with so many different clients and you have to learn all these different niches and stuff like that. How much should I ask to get paid? Wallah, I don't know what it's like in America and, you know, the job market and this and that, but, you know, and also there's a difference between a salary and then what you would charge as a you know, a contractor. I don't know, bro. 50K dollars? I don't know. I'm making that up. Walaikum salam. I'm looking to hire someone to do ads for me. Any recommendations? You see, this is not what I would look for as a business owner. I would look for someone who does ads in my industry. So I would say I'm looking to hire someone to do ads for my whatever, my old person's home, my school, my coaching program, and I would hire someone who has specific expertise in that field, not someone who's just good at ads in general, unless they had a lot of like success stories from your industry. But ideally, always go for people that have success in your industry. I think that's better. So it depends on your industry. I might be able to give you recommendations, but generally, I don't know people like personally too much that do that, but it depends really. Would you recommend advertising for B2B or B2C models for beginners? I mean, look, if you're doing advertising as a service, you're only going to be doing working B2B. But you mean what the customer is selling? I think B2C is easier. That's my experience. B2C selling or marketing in general is easier. I think that's what I feel. Some of the courses I did on the top of my head. So here we go. If I go to digitalmarketer.com and I go to certifications, this is where I started, okay, from Digital Marketer. If you go digitalmarketer.com and you click on courses and then certifications, I did digital marketing mastery. I think I did that one. I definitely did customer acquisition specialist, paid traffic mastery. I did that one. I did the email marketing one. I did the e-commerce one. I did the analytics and data one. I did optimization and testing one. I did conversion funnel mastery. I did that one. I did the copywriting one. I think that I did these. So these are good. How much are they selling these for these days? Like we've got a copywriting course here, for example, Kareem, and it's $500, and I'm sure it's pretty good. But it will just like teach you how to copyright. It won't teach you, for example, how to get copywriting clients and those details that comes with being a, service business kind of person. So digital marketer, I just listed some of those ones. And also we've got, let me think. I learned from Sam Ovens a lot. I learned from Dan Henry. The Sam Ovens course is now not being sold, so the name of that doesn't matter. Dan Henry, I just learned from his free stuff mostly. Russell Brunson. We bought something off Russell Brunson, but I can't remember now. But his book is somewhere there. His books are good enough, Yani. And then read his book, and then from there, Yani, you can implement, I think. Yeah. But like if you want to do SMMA agency, oh yeah, that guy's good. Iman something, Gaji or whatever. His course is good, SMMA. Our program is good, Muslim CEO. If you're interested in our program, we have a webinar next week where you can learn all about our offering, and you can actually learn real value, maybe more detail than what I'm giving you now, because the webinar is more planned out with slides and details and all that. This is more Q&A. So if you're interested in at least just coming on the webinar and seeing what we have to offer, then maybe just send me your email address in the chat or in Telegram, and I will make sure that you're registered for that webinar next week, next Thursday, inshallah. And I didn't even come on here to sell. I'm just saying that I do think our program's very good, and we give you a crazy level of support that I've never really heard elsewhere. So that's why I'm saying that. So our program is a good program as well. And yeah, I was saying like Russell Brunson, I learned from him as well. I will do online. Yeah, cool. Booyah, what type of skills are useful, valuable in online business or business? Skills, it's like work ethic, if that's a skill, curiosity, persistence, patience, These things more than anything. And then empathy, I think, listening. These are big skills, because if you really listen to your audience, you know, you pick your target audience and you listen to them carefully, they'll tell you what they want, and they'll tell you in the words that you should use to sell to them. So that's a big one. Attention to detail. I know these don't sound like skills, but really this is the fundamentals. Everything else you can learn from books and courses and stuff like that. Copywriting, of course, is a big one, because copywriting is basically just how to persuade with words. And you do that through talking on video, you do that through calls, you do that through webinars, you do that through landing pages and sales pages and ads. So copywriting is kind of like the fundamental skill of marketing in general. But it doesn't mean you have to learn that through doing a copywriting course. You kind of learn that through general business courses in general, if you know what I mean. But I guess copywriting is a good way of learning it. That's true. So copywriting, if you want a more like tangible skill. I would like to learn SEO, email marketing the most. Yeah. I mean, if you want to offer a service, then like kind of like pick one and focus on that. I mean, there's a lot of misinformation around helping people with porn addiction. Please look into the easy peasy and celibate yogi. Yeah, I know about the easy peasy method actually, and I'm certified whatever coach. So I did a kind of training program with another coach about a year ago. So I have a methodology, but I'm always looking to improve that methodology. And easy peasy method is on my it's on my list actually of things to go through. So definitely, I think these methods have helped people more, unlike NoFap or learning about the science. Yeah, okay, definitely. What about getting a remote job that has flexible hours? I mean, sounds beautiful, you know, especially if you're living in a cheaper country. That's a good hack these days, you know. That's a good idea. But what kind of remote job can you do? I think commission sales is good, even though it's kind of not a job. It's kind of like a service, really, I guess. But I like that. I think you can make a lot of money that way as well. But I know people teaching English online, like as a remote job. I even know one brother. He gets paid to do dawah. He does phone calls with people for a dawah organization. He gets paid to do that, and he's working remotely. I know people doing customer service to like Germany or the UK while not living in those countries. I even know one guy, he's buying and selling cars in America, but he's not living in America. So he's kind of got people on the ground that do the physical stuff, but he's probably like providing the money, finding the different cars to buy and who to sell it to, and arranging those things while he's elsewhere. I thought that was pretty cool arbitrage. Okay, cool. So Kareem is saying you can do e-commerce but don't do Facebook ads. That's way too saturated. I mean, probably. I mean, Facebook ads are having trouble these days, but it doesn't mean it's not working for everyone. But yeah, I'm personally kind of moving away from Facebook ads, but that's for my industry. So other industries might still be working okay. But yeah, YouTube ads, it seems like a good place to go. And TikTok ads, like you're saying, is hot right now. Possibly, yeah. I don't know too much, but it depends on who you're selling to, right? Yeah, that is an issue, Kareem, exactly. Also, TikTok just as a business, it's like, do you want to, like, if you're advertising on TikTok, you're literally paying TikTok. And I would rather TikTok just burn and go to hell, to be honest. I only focus on male students and a male tutor. Cool. I used to do sales. Sales is sick. It's a coaching program, not a course. Okay. But for $6,000, I hope they help you like actually get clients, or they even get you clients. Because really it's on the upper end really of the cost of these things. except like obviously masterminds are more expensive. Sales calls as a service sounds really cool. How do you expect companies to turn their press leads over to some sales call startup? Tell them to send you the low quality ones first. That could be a start. Also, maybe you could hire someone. So you sell your service, but your service is not you doing it. You get someone else. So for example, you get 15% commission off the client, and you pay half of that to the guy that you hire, and you keep half. And in the meantime, you do a few of the maybe weaker leads or something, weaker calls. And maybe you could do it that way. But yeah, also, you make dua for some opportunities to come up. Maybe some people, they're kind of fresh to the game, you know what I mean? So maybe let's say they're a coaching business and they do sales calls, and they don't like doing sales calls, and then you come along and you're like, look, I've got this proven script. And you can get scripts from online. You can probably find them for free. Maybe you can find them for free online, or you can get them from courses. And you're like, look, I've got this course. I've got this script. It's 6 script. It's a proven script. It's $100 million script, which I have a script like that. And they might give you a chance. So sometimes you got to try and see where Allah will open the door for you. Could you name these copywriting courses you know of or took? Yeah, so there's one called Call to Action by Ramit Sethi, and then a Digital Marketer have one, and it's just called like, what's it called? Direct Response Copywriting Specialist, right? Or it's called Copywriting Mastery. Those are a couple that I mentioned. I'm an eBay sole trader. I make approximately £7,000 per month via drop shipping. I don't have any inventory. Yeah, that's cool. MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Very good. How have you coped with time management with all commitment you have? I don't know what commitment. I'm not actually very busy. I wish I was more busy, I'm trying to I'm still transitioning out of Ramadan schedule, and then I got ill and stuff, so I'm trying to be more busy, to be honest. I'm trying to do more stuff. Salam, brother. Hamid al-Bitar. Is that who I think it is? Long time. What's your best advice to escape the 9-to-5 life? I want to start my own business or freelance. I work in a recording studio, and our clients are ad agencies or production houses. I mean, learn from them and learn what they want, and maybe you can learn some skills that would help them with their problems. These ad agencies or these production houses, I don't know how halal it is, but it sounds like you're in touch, in communication already with people that could be your clients. You never know. And the hardest part is making the sale rather than learning the skill. I feel like you can just buy the skill. Sometimes you can hire a freelancer to do the service for you, or you can try and buy a course or buy a consulting session to help you after you've made the sale, kind of thing. So sometimes selling a service is literally, like I said, my first client, they were just paying you because they didn't have the time. It's not that they think you're super, super expert. Obviously, they think you know what you're doing, but it's I don't have the time to do this, and it needs to be done. And so I don't care if you're using a course or whatever, just do it. Just take it off my plate. So yeah, I think, like I said, services and coaching and courses, I think these are good businesses. They're high profit, they're scalable, they can be done remotely. You don't have to invest anything to get started. How long are we in, by the way? Oof, 90 minutes, mashallah. Anyone here do Amazon FBA? Is it doable? Not hype. Wallah, it's doable, and many people made a lot of money and they make a lot of money from it. But I just wouldn't recommend it these days, because I'm sure there are ways to do it. but it's really saturated. It's lower profit compared to the other business models out there. And it's like you're always going to have to like be restocking, and Amazon have a lot of like regulations like, oh, your product isn't safety certified and stuff like that. So when I tried it, it's like, I don't know, 6 years ago, like those were like the golden days. But I was in a few kind of mastermind chat things, and some of those guys there were making like 50k a month, 100k a month, and some of them, they solidified themselves. They're making really good money, and they're like, I'm going to build a proper brand. I'm going to do this. And they started getting stocked in like Walmart and these kind of things. And those guys are doing sick today. I remember there's even one guy, mashallah, from New York. He was making $1 million a month. Obviously not profit, revenue. And he bought his own warehouse and everything, mashallah. But a lot of the other guys, they went from like 50k and they just started going down, and they didn't know how to deal with it because Amazon's like blocking them here, issues with supply chain, blah blah blah. So I think it's not hype, but I think it's much harder than it used to be, and it's harder maybe than it has to be and it should be. I don't know. eBay is easier to navigate. Okay, I can see that compared to Amazon. Okay. Makes sense. He used to sell Samsung phone cases in college, bought them DHgate, made £350 from 200. Realized the potential if I had multiple products. Yeah, of course. I mean, there are people making money on eBay, on Amazon. Definitely. It's just, is it the easiest? Is it the best? Is it the most scalable? Is it the highest margin? Is it the most like stress-free? And I'm not a fan, Yani. What would you, if you're a young Muslim man growing up in the West right now, about to finish high school? I'd try to get a job in like a really sick field, like software engineering, or maybe even sales. Obviously try and make it in the most halal environment possible. Maybe in a city where a lot of Muslims, so I'd have like Muslim co-workers or something. But I find like software engineers are kind of like all geeks, so maybe like that would be good. It depends on the person, of course, but get a good skill, a high paying skill. Try and get straight, like if it's possible to get straight out of high school into a job, and like some sort of apprenticeship kind of scheme, like that would be so good, like just to start working. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe while you're working, you can learn on the job other things and build your skills over time. But the biggest thing that I remember when I was like younger, when I was like, I don't know, 23, 4 kind of age, is like patience. Like I thought by the age, I don't know, 30, I had to be like amazing. Like I had to be married, kids, really good at business, this and that. Like I was in such a hurry, and so all my decisions were made based on right now. Like right now I need to make a lot of money right now, otherwise I'm going to be a failure. I need to get married right now, I need to have kids right now, I need to move to this place right now. And it was all about doing it right now. If I had been more patient, I would have actually got there quicker. But because it was all about right now, I was like, for example, I need to be self-employed, have my business and live off that full time right now. Because of that decision, I just did a business and I failed. I did a business, I failed. I did business, I failed. Like that was like a year or two of just wasted time. If I had got a job, then in those 2 years, I would have got experience, got money, and got money like saved up that I could then use in business. I would have got life skills and all of that, and probably would have been able to get married. So you see what I mean? And all of that is because I thought in my head, I had this fake idea that by 30, I have to be like basically at the peak of my life at 30. And that's dangerous, and that's just fake, and it's wrong. And the Prophet ﷺ, he didn't get wahi till he was 40. And 40 is like the age of maturity, yani. So before 40 is like you're just building a lot of the time. I'm not saying, yani, you can't make money or get married or whatever before 40, but I'm just saying, yani, you'll be at your peak later than 30. That's what I would expect in life. What's this? Couldn't dedicate as much as I was going to mosque college. Okay, I see you. MashaAllah. These things are all good, man. What you need to do, I list 10. Set the item location as China. When each one gets sold, you purchase on AliExpress. Yeah, this kind of drop shipping, like testing on mass, testing on scale kind of model. Okay, I think I'm going to have to wrap it up, man. MashaAllah, you guys kept me busy this whole time. Finally, before I get going, your top 3 entrepreneur books. I don't know if you're still around because that was that 8 minutes ago? I can't even tell. Anyway, top 3 entrepreneur books. Damn. I mean, 4-hour work week. It's number 1. Let me see. 4-hour work week, .com secrets, and entrepreneur books. It's got to be something like personal development based, like maybe the Quran even. Just because like you gotta trust Allah, you gotta know why you're doing what you're doing, and yeah, and you have to have the right mindset, the right patience, the right tawakkul, the right understanding of qadr and these things. So maybe it could be the Quran. It could be as well 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And then maybe, I don't know, just any of these copywriting books like by, what's his name, Joseph Sugarman or Eugene Schwartz. Yeah, off the top of my head. Those books, yeah, I don't have many books. I only get like the really good books, physical copy. So if it's there, it's good, yani. Okay, I'm gonna have to just try and skip through. Yeah, welcome. That sounds good, mashallah. How would you market a sales call service? How would you learn other people's business model to make calls? You can't use a preset script. You can use a preset script and just tweak it. A lot of this stuff is like Googling like crazy, Googling and YouTubing. And just like, if you keep doing that for long enough, you'll find all the answers. I can't like go through it, you know what I mean, on detail now. How do you price your products appropriately? General, I don't know when these comments came in, like how recent they are. But anyway, always try and sell based on value. And I guess like one of the things is like, if your product, the value that they're getting from the product is worth like $1,000, then sell it for $100. So it's like a really good value for them. And then, you know, inshallah, the $100 is good for you as well. And then it's like, you're going to get sales because it's good value, but then also the $100, you know, you're still making that money. So it's like 10x the value of it. But that's why, like, I recommend knowledge business, so like service or coaching or a course, because and you specifically make these services or coaching or whatever about painful problems, solving painful problems. So for example, someone is smoking, they're addicted to smoking, they've been smoking their whole life, they've got kids now, they're thinking, oh, will I be around when my kids are getting older and this and that, am I going to get cancer, I hate it, my wife hates it, blah blah blah. How much would that guy pay to just quit smoking like that? Like, it depends on his salary and these things, but he might pay £10,000, right? Now, that's if you could do it like that, but you can't do it like that. So that's why we reduce it. But ultimately, I think, you know, if he really hates smoking and his addiction that much, he would pay, you know, £1,000 to £3,000 for someone that can really, you know, has a proven process, a good system for helping him quit. Yeah, so you see what I mean by value? Like, to him, it's worth £10,000 to quit smoking. And so we sell it to him for £1,000, £2,000 or £3,000 kind of thing. It's good money for you. And he gets that really high value outcome of quitting smoking. So that's kind of how I think about it. I don't know what you meant by how about women humble me. Oh, Muhammad, that's actually you. Allahu Akbar. Allah yarda alayk, Habibi. Wallah, long time, man. Long time. Hope you're good, man. Okay, Shabib, cool. Thanks for being here. I want to start an auto detailing side business. Cool. I want to start an auto detailing side business. Doesn't sound like a side business, but cool. I don't know much about that stuff. How old am I? I don't really share that stuff usually, but I'm between 25 and 35. The tenors. I have a full-time job. My passion is sports. I'm sitting down with a sports agent next week. Any advice? I don't know what a sports agent is, bro. You mean an agent that's going to find you like a contract to play sports professionally? Is that what you mean? I don't know, like the more detailed the better. I would just, whenever I go to like a sit down or an interview or this kind of thing, I just try and be prepared in terms of, can I have a proposal for them, So like, if I got a contract, this is why I need the details. If I got this contract, I would do this and this and this and this. And the proof that I would do that is already right now I'm doing this. Or in the past I've done this. Obviously show your passion and kind of just be yourself, because that's where the best is going to come out of you, but also have some bullet points that you definitely want to make sure you get across. So be natural, but also include, bullet points, but more detail would help. Any other cool ideas like sales call outsourcing? Well, I always have good ideas for coaching, right? Like, there's one we always mention, which is like helping divorced parents have a good enough relationship with their ex-wife or husband so the kids don't suffer, because there's a lot of pain in divorce. So how can you help with divorce? That's something maybe that you would need to be a bit older to help with. A big one is helping people get married. If you could have a service for that, like people are dying for that stuff, and it's a hard problem to solve, but if you can find a way to solve it, and I'm sure like if you really put your head to it, look at what all the people are doing out there, what's working, what's not working, why are people struggling, and like fix all the holes in the problems. What do you think people would pay to get married? Some people, they would pay £5,000, £10,000. Some people would definitely pay that, right? I remember there was this a matchmaker in Silicon Valley who specifically got like rich kind of princes or shuyukh from the Gulf married to women in Silicon Valley. That's very niched, isn't it? And like she was making like 6 figures per like match that she made. So the point is, people are struggling to get married. So if you can find a solution, and I think a good solution would be something very tailored, very exclusive, quite pricey, and literally like, wouldn't that be a cool service? Like, I really want to get married, right? Let's say I want to get married. Your service is you're gonna just bring me 10 matches. You're gonna interview me, you're gonna find out all my preferences, and you're gonna just go out there and bring me 10 girls that I can speak to, and I might find a wife through that. Would I not pay like £1,000 for that, £2,000 for that? I think that's a sick service. But you got to do the research of personality traits and how people get on with each other and all of that. But wallah, I fully think that would work. Not to mention like women who are getting a bit older and they're not really finding anyone. Again, you could be that matchmaker. You could even do coaching for them on how they need to change their mindset in order to be more likely to get married and more likely to like have a good marriage. That's a money maker. I'll tell you, that's a big one. Maybe I'll do that one day before you do it. What's one struggle, weakness did you while writing a book? The whole book is struggle, ya akhi. The whole book is struggle. Um, uh, I mean, I struggle to concentrate, so sitting down to write is difficult. What I did to counter that was I tried to just dedicate whole days to writing, and preferably out of the house. So I remember just going to a cafe and be like, look, between, I don't know, like Dhuhr and Maghrib, I'm just going to write. So that's an example, Yani, without going too long. I want to make a crafts business from home, but struggling what product to start off with. Go to, what's that place where people sell handmade stuff? Damn, what's it called? Is it Etsy? Yeah, it's Etsy, right? Etsy. Yeah, go on Etsy and find out how they rank things so that you can work out what is selling well. Okay? And sell that stuff, make that stuff, right? Like, go with whatever is already selling well. I don't know if this is the best type of business, by the way, but if you really want to do that, then that's how I would pick a product. Look at what's doing well on Etsy, and just different like trends, you know what I mean? You know, like the people that sold like, I don't know, Donald Trump t-shirts a few years ago, like they just jumped on a trend. So jump on a trend and make it with your style, that kind of thing. Sell it on Etsy. Look also on Pinterest. That's it. Look what's trending on Pinterest in certain categories. Like let's say you do embroidery, search embroidery on Pinterest, see what's trending. So the dude, the tenors, football agent who manages players, I reached out to him and made a video about his players, 30 minutes long. So he wants more, and I asked, I want to get into football. But what are you going to do, bro? Like, are you going to be a player? Are you going to make videos for him? That's what I'm still not understanding. Maybe I'm just dumb. Allah bless you, Choto Bai. Yes, and you, bro. Do you know Sunnah Match? Yeah, I've heard of Sunnah Match. I don't know how it works here. Do they interview people for you? I'm not sure. All I know is it was cheap, and I would make mine not cheap. Okay. Walaikum salam, Zishan Khan. I'm a junior software engineer. I would like to have something of my own, but find it difficult to come up with ideas. Mix with people that you would like to sell to and work with. Mix with those people and listen to their problems. And that's how you come up with ideas. Don't think of ideas, business ideas. Think of problems. What problems are out there? And then finding the solution is generally the easiest part. For sales call outsourcing, I would go to groups of people that are selling coaching programs or high ticket courses, or even agencies selling their services, and go to groups and find where these people hang out. Even go into like paid memberships where these people might be in, and that's where I would find them. Those people are all good for this because they're working in a remote environment, and so hiring a remote salesperson, they wouldn't mind that at all. But don't go to like, a big company with 500 employees and a big office. No, that's long. So people selling high ticket coaching courses, services, these people, find out where they hang out and then talk to them. I'm studying business, but it feels like there are no halal jobs. I don't know, man. Most stuff is halal. I know it's like there's always little bits of haram mixed with it. I know that's true, and it's not comfortable. That's the reason to like get out of your job, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. This one looks interesting. Turning 27 this September, still at first year uni. No saving at all. While my cousin is getting married, got her mortgage sorted. What's your advice? I mean, if you're a sister, then I don't know, like, who cares if do you need savings, Yani? Not really a goal in life per se. Getting a mortgage, like, mortgage is usually haram, Yani, so why would we want that? First year uni, I mean, maybe you went to uni late, maybe you're doing something useful with your life before that. Yani, uni is not a measurement of success or anything. So, yeah, I mean, What's my advice for you? I mean, what do you want to do with your life? It sounds like you want to fast forward through uni and you want to get a mortgage and you want to get married and you want to get savings. I would question if you really want to do those things. Like what for? I don't know if I sound stupid right now, but that's just kind of what I'm thinking. Damn, this is 2 hours. I mean, I don't mind, but it's like I didn't expect this to go this long. Oh wow. Yeah, so I mean, what do you want to do out of those things you're talking about? The main thing I would focus on is getting married, and yeah, get through your uni. If you want to go uni, get through it. Like, take advantage of it. Make sure you're serious about it. Make sure it's a beneficial thing for your dunya and akhirah. And how to get married, I mean, you know, network with people, maybe volunteer different places, get to know different sisters, and then inshallah, with the will of Allah, people will come your way. Get clear on the type of person you want, and don't have this mindset of like, oh, but someone better might come along. Like that's death. Like, just know what you want now, and not like exactly what you want, just the main things that you want. Get clear on the main things you want, and then anyone who has those main things, just go for it. I don't know, that's kind of advice I would give, you know. I mean, having savings is like maybe nice, but just ask for a nice mahar instead, and then you'll have your savings, isn't it, right? And mortgage, yeah, who cares about mortgage? I don't have a mortgage. Do I need a mortgage? You tell me I need a mortgage. Yeah, I hope that helps. How would these coaches gather all their leads? You mean how would they get leads? They're probably advertising using Facebook or YouTube ads. What was this one? Your answer to Kareem's question is so spot. Reality is uni gives one thing, instant gratification mindset. You just said, and I have been through that and realized myself it's fake. وياكم إدريس وياك Timmer. Long term, I want to do arts and crafts workshops, but I need to find a starting place for it. Okay. I mean, if you want to do arts and crafts workshops as a way to like just help kids kind of whatever it is, develop their confidence, or you know, have a nice hobby, a nice activity, that's one thing. If you want to make a business out of it, I would suggest that's a difficult business to build. A arts and crafts workshop business. I'm not saying you can't make money, but it's just one of the harder ways of making money. And if I was forced to do that type of business, I would probably try and sell it to schools. Yeah, these kind of things. For getting clients as an online builder, do you prefer marketing or sales, and why? I mean, wallah, when it comes to online, it's become one thing, you know. For example, if you're, you know, I don't know, running ads and you're sending the ads to a sales page, where does the marketing end and the sales begin? It's like one thing. The only place where it's separate is if you have selling over the phone. If you're selling over the phone, and, you know, so the bit on the phone is the sales bit, and everything before that is the marketing bit. I prefer marketing. I don't like calls and stuff like that, if that's what you're talking about. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up now. Sorry, man. There's some things that I wouldn't be able to answer. There's too much going on here. Not too much in terms of I don't like it, but too much for me to get through in the time that I have. So Jazakumullah khairan for joining me. I really enjoyed this. Wow, this is crazy. And yeah, let me know what I should do in the future. Leave your comments, this and that. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. السلام عليكم السلام عليكم السلام عليكم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله.